And also, have you noticed how all of the people that tell you to follow the science about the pandemic don't actually follow the science about the pandemic themselves, but they expect you to? So check it. Barack Obama is having a 60th birthday bash on Martha's Vineyard, right? Big, super celebrity, richy rich area. It's going to be a celeb fest, surely maskless, and during the very dangerous Delta outbreak, which we are told infects and is spread also by the vaccinated. So maybe the former president should call off his birthday bash. Maybe do it over Zoom, like people have had with their funerals, or children have been doing with school for the past, year and a half in some places? Maybe set an example by following the science. But no, see, following the science is for unwashed, flyover, dirty people, not our elites. Barack and Michelle Obama expecting nearly 500 people to show up, including old-timers like Steven Spielberg. And guess who the musical act is going to be? Pearl Jam. I did not have Pearl Jam playing a bougie Martha's Vineyard birthday party on my bingo card, but you know what? It's 2021. Hopefully, when it's over, most of them can actually still sing that I'm still alive. In any case, it turns out that when you're worth $60 million, not only do the rules not apply to you, but even better, life continues completely as it always was. What pandemic? What Delta virus? What is any of this? The Obamas and all rich people are living the good, ignoring the science while you're supposed to follow it live, masking your kids, yourself, socially distancing, while you have, these folks that want to influence you to get the jab and follow the science, but they'll jump on a private jet and head to Martha's Vineyard for a party with 500 of their closest friends without masks while they encouraged you to have a lonely Thanksgiving. Here's another example. How about follow the science Democrat mayor, Lori Lightfoot? Yes, despite the very, very dangerous, highly transmissible, and oh-so-deadly Delta variant, the show must go on at Lollapalooza in Chicago with 110,000 some odd people, thousands and thousands of people, singing, mixing together, mostly maskless, because everybody is following the science. It's not contagious in Chicago or Martha's Vineyard, apparently. See, they're following whatever Lori Lightfoot says is the science. And if you haven't figured it out yet, no one is following the science, especially the people who tell you to follow the science. It's just a trope used to silence dissension, quell any questions, stop the stupidity of the CDC's guidance from being revealed. See, we stopped following the science because we actually believe in science. And also we understand that we've put people in charge of our health agencies who seem to care more about an agenda and protecting ideology than they actually do following real science in order to protect your health. So at this point, follow the science seems like a phrase to hide behind, and one that allows bureaucrats to tell you what to do, like telling you where to go and whether or not you have to cover your face. It's a way to make sure that the world that we entered in March of 2020 continues. It's that new normal they keep telling us about. And that's because maybe they never intend on life returning to normal as it was. And you have to go along with all of this. And why? They're just asking you to follow the science. So where's the data and the science? Yeah, just stop asking questions and just follow the science. Yeah, what we say. Watch Peter Doocy, by the way, of Fox News, ask for science and watch the response.
Why is it that the federal government is asking vaccinated Americans to wear masks to stop the spread of COVID-19, but at the same time, federal agents are also releasing COVID-19 positive border crossers into small towns in Texas?
I just want to be very clear here. I do want to answer your question, Peter. First, just to step back and do this 30,000-foot view, there's been no change in Title 42. Families and single adults are expelled, if possible, when apprehended at the southern border. The majority of apprehensions that we saw at the border in June were expelled. Those who can't be expelled or are awaiting processing are often placed in alternatives to detention programs while their cases are being reviewed. CBP provides migrant with PPE from the moment they are taken into custody, and migrants are required to keep masks on at all times, including when they are transferred or in the process of being released. If anyone exhibits signs of illness in CBP custody, they are referred to local health systems for appropriate testing, diagnosis, isolation, and treatment. CBP takes its responsibility to prevent the spread of communicable diseases very, very seriously. We value our partners in local communities whose work is critical to moving individuals safely out of custody and through the appropriate immigration pathway, and assist in mitigating COVID-19 and isolating quarantine when needed.
She seems nicer than Jen Psaki, doesn't she? And also kind of gets railroaded in some of these questions. That's why they brought Psaki back out. Okay, so you have it there. We're not going to show you the science, just follow the science. By the way, how are you going to make sure people are going to be wearing masks at the border? Everyone's given a mask. People were also told not to enter illegally, but yet they did it anyway. How are you going to make sure that people are wearing masks? I don't know. Why are we supposed to trust the CDC on this? I mean, apparently they're highly respected. That's what we're told. But I wonder if the Biden administration would like to take a poll and ask the American people how much credibility the CDC still has with the American public. But such is the new world, where follow the science just means do what we tell you, put the mask on, get jabbed, regardless of whatever your health profile is. We don't care if you have natural immunity. Don't ask tough questions. Do what you're told. Because it would be a shame if we have to follow the science and then reinstate the lockdowns. And maybe this is why increasingly censorship and mandates are replacing discussion about facts and data. Because increasingly science doesn't seem to be the point at all in this pandemic. It hasn't been the point for a long time. And I think a lot of people see that and understand it. They see that the administration is struggling to keep up with the changing CDC narratives. They're all over the place. And they're just punting now when asked a question and say, no, just trust the experts. Okay, we don't. That's why we're asking you. And so it's a little hard to navigate this pandemic. People are growing justifiably ever more distrustful, not just of the government, but of each other, because the government now is trying to divide everybody between the vaccinated and unvaccinated because they've had horrible messaging with all of this. It's not our fault, it's theirs. All of this could have been avoided by following the science. And even if it leads to some very uncomfortable truths, like, I don't know, Bear Weekend contributing to the breakout in P-Town, and the vaccines. Well, it turns out we didn't know as much about all of this as we thought, which is understandable, but heaven forbid the government just admit it because we want everyone vaccinated, no matter the science. But now the real science seems to be coming out a little bit, and a lot of people, many are following it. Some are not. And unfortunately, though, the CDC and the Biden administration, they're following the CDC's scientists, not actual science. And that can be a problem, and not just for negotiating this pandemic, but for guiding America through any future crisis that might come. This is why science is important.